So, in this session, we are starting with the new chapter, that is evolution. In the last sessions, we talked about the molecular basis of inheritance, and before that we talked about the principles of inheritance and variation. So, in this chapter, we are going to talk about the evolution. The name itself saying evolved. Evolved means what? Maybe the life evolved and how the earth evolved. Before that, how the universe evolved. Yes, the universe is almost 20 billion years ago. The universe, it formed. The universe formed 20 billion years ago. Remember this word. Okay, later I'll write it on the board. So when this universe evolved, how the universe was before the evolution, how universe looks. What are the species, other species or the other galaxies, stars were present in the universe? Can we imagine? So we are in really a small peck, that is, we are in the planet called Earth. That too, in the Earth, we are living in South Asia. We are South Asians. That too, South Indians we are. So being here, can we imagine how the universe evolved? No doubt, so many scientists have written on number of books. Maybe like this, the life evolved. Maybe the universe like this evolved. Maybe the Earth like that evolved. Based on some concepts, based on some strong proofs, so strong evidences, we are going to start. We are going to learn the evolution chapter in this unit or in this class 12. So my dear students, I'd like to start my chapter or this chapter by saying, or by starting with the evolutionary biology. Evolutionary biology means what? So this is the first thing I would like to mention here. Evolutionary biology is nothing but, so the life species, the living organisms, all the life forms, how old it is. Studying of history of life forms which is present on the earth. It is known as evolutionary biology. Study of history of life forms present on earth. It is known as evolutionary biology. Right from the evolutionary biology till with the evidences of some of the species. They have taken the examples of some of the species by explaining the details on a detailed account of all the evidences of some species. They put the one chapter known as evolution. So in the evolution, as I told you, we are starting with the evolutionary biology. Evolutionary biology. So this is all about the studying of history of life forms. So what is the use of studying of history of life forms? We'll come to know how we were. We were in the form of apes. Gradually, spontaneously, we changed. The tail emerges. A number of changes, number of variation took place with those variations and all. We changed ourselves from monkey to man. Okay, so like this, it will be very interesting concept. So don't miss any of the concepts or any of the word in this chapter. So evolutionary biology. After this evolutionary biology, I am going to explain you. I am going to tell you about the evolution. So what is evolution? It is nothing but we are going to understand about the flora and fauna. About the flora and fauna. What the flora and fauna in sense? Flora means flowers or plants related to plants, and fauna means it is nothing but a study of animals. So we are going to understand the changes that took place in flora and fauna from millions of years ago. It is known as evolution. Understand? It is the subject of understanding of change take place formed. So here, so this is all about the introduction. Still I have not started the evolution concept. So the evolution consists of so many contexts so that we will understand later. So just look at this definition of evolution. What is evolution? So this is the subject of understanding of change takes place in flora and fauna from millions of years ago on Earth. This is not about the single day or single year or a decade or a century. This is all about millions of years ago. So my dear students, we'll move on to the next thing, that is all about the content of this chapter. First content of this chapter is, what is that? Origin of life. Yes, how the life evolved, how the life originated. To understand that, we have to go from the universe. How the universe evolved, how old it is. It is all about 200 billion years ago. It is that much old. It is 200 billion year ago. So it is not 200. It is 20 billion year ago. Okay, make it correct. 20. What actually it is? It is the age of universe. Okay, got it? So universe means what? A huge collection of galaxies and stars and clouds, everything. Okay, so the universe, it is a collection of the galaxies. Then what is galaxy? You better understand, or you better know about the galaxies and universe and all stars and all, because you're physics students also. In physics you might have discussed about all these things and all, right? So without wasting much time on universe and galaxies and stars and clouds, we move on to our concept. So some scientists, they explain we are in universe, right? They are in the discussion of universe. To understand how the universe evolved, it is very important to understand about the Big Bang theory. In this theory, he very much tried to explain how the universe evolved, how the universe formed. In the Big Bang theory, the scientists wrote what they wrote. They attempt to explain about how universe formed. In the Big Bang theory, it was like in the Big Bang theory, it is written like there was a huge explosion. There was a huge before billions years ago. I'm talking about before billions years ago. There was a huge explosion. So this is the first thing that they have added in this theory to explain you about the formation of universe. Okay, so in the universe, number of galaxies are present. So in the universe, how the universe evolved? In the Big Bang theory, they explain about formation of universe. What Big Bang theory explains, what is there in the Big Bang theory? It is like there was a huge explosion, some unimaginable physical terms take place. Unimaginable. You can't imagine how such a physical changes took place during this huge explosion. The universe, maybe it was we can consider before explosion the universe was like this. Okay, when the Big Bang theory, when a huge explosion took place, the universe, it started expanding. It started expanding. Universe. Expansion of universe takes place. Universe started expanding. So this is not about one-day phenomena or two-day phenomena. It's all about the number of years of phenomena. Year by year, universe started expanding, and when the universe started expanding, the temperature keeps on reducing, and then in the atmosphere, like there at the region of this Big Bang theory, in this huge explosion, the water vapors, like I'll cover this a little bit later. Let me tell you one more thing here. The temperature was reducing, and because of the gravitation, the number of gases, they started forming the number of gases. It started forming number of galaxies. One very familiar galaxy, like we are in a galaxy called as Milky Way. Means the Earth is in Milky Way galaxy. Okay, so in this Milky Way galaxy, contained a very much speck in sense very small, a very small thing is present. What actually it is? It is nothing but Earth. Earth is what is this? It is a planet. So in this planet, why it is necessary to understand all these things before starting the content origin of life, when we come to know how our universe formed and how our Earth has evolved, it will be very much easy to understand how the life evolved. Okay, so billion years ago, a big explosion took place. That is clearly written in the Big Bang theory. The scientists written in the Big Bang theory. And there was a huge explosion, unimaginable physical terms took place. The universe started expanding slowly, and the temperature started reducing because when the universe started expanding, temperature gradually start reducing in the number of galaxies. So in this universe, number of galaxies will be present. Our galaxy is Milky Way. In the Milky Way galaxy, a speck, a very much small content is present. That is nothing but the Earth. So when all these things started happening in the universe, our Earth was also formed. After 4.5 billion years ago, BYA in sense billion years ago, the Earth formed. So the universe formed 20 billion years ago. The Earth formed 4.5 billion years ago. On that time, when the Earth evolved, when the Earth formed, how was the condition? The temperature was it was very much high, and how about the water, and how about other inorganic or organic constituents? That we'll understand here. So finally, we are in the planet Earth. So it is very essential to understand how the Earth formed. The ago, billion years old. Okay, so during that time the conditions were like this. The atmosphere was not present, there was no atmosphere or reducing the atmosphere. Atmosphere was reducing, and then water vapor, ammonia, carbon dioxide, and then methane. All these were releasing from the molten gas, which covered the surface of Earth. Now you just imagine how Earth was. Earth was covered by such a toxic instituents, like chemical instituents, carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, water vapor. There was like oxygen was not present, water was not present. There was no chance of presence of life. First, what it has to, the first thing is atmosphere should become to the stable condition, and all things toxic like ammonia or the carbon dioxide or methane or water vapor should come to the normal position, should come to the exact position, so that life can evolve. How it happened? So look at this. I just wanted to add one word here. In the universe content, just make it or write down in the universe how the universe evolved. When I was talking about that one, there I forgot to mention this. Hydrogen and helium formed later. So you just add this word in the content of universe. Okay, so before this I wrote the universe, right? When the universe evolved, how the universe evolved. So in that content you have to add this. Maybe if they ask you to write about the universe or about the earth, you have to write or you have to add all these things. Remember it. Alright, so we were in this section, right? So let me tell you, the water vapor, ammonia, carbon dioxide, methane were releasing from the molten gas, which covered the surface of the earth. Now, the earth's atmosphere was very unsuitable for the living organisms. What happened? The UV rays coming from the sun, those UV rays broke down the water molecule. The oxygen and hydrogen get separated. The hydrogen escaped from the water and it settled on the atmosphere. And the next is the oxygen, it get combined with the methane and ammonia. From here, the formation of water took place. Okay, so previously the atmosphere, the earth surface was having ammonia, methane, carbon dioxide, water vapor, everything. So because of the emission of UV rays, harmful rays, it broke down the water molecule or water vapors. So because of the breakdown of that water molecule, the hydrogen releases out to the atmosphere, and the oxygen, it combined with the methane and ammonia, it results in the formation of water. And those water vapors, which is present in the big component, those water molecules fell down in the form of rain. Why so? Because when the temperature keep on decreasing, when the ozone molecule form all around the surface on the say the valley. Okay, so in this depression, the water gets settled. So that results in the formation of seas and rivers and everything. Okay, so finally what we got? We got the ozone layer, we got the water, we got the oxygen, everything is done now. No, what else? What next? The next thing is the formation of life. The life evolved 500 million years ago. Before 500 million years ago, like or we can say after the formation of Earth, after 500 million years ago, the life evolved. How the life was? To understand this, number of scientists, number of astronauts, Greek thinkers, so many of them put forward their theory to make us understand about the origination of life. How the life evolved, how the origin of life took place. So they have given, like they have proposed their mechanism, their phenomena. Now, in this section or in this class, we are understanding in the form of theory. So, like theory of panspermia, theory of spontaneous generation, and theory of biogenesis, theory of chemical evolution. Like that, we are going to understand one by one. Okay. So, very first, the Greek thinkers, some of the Greek thinkers, they put forward their phenomena like this, let me write that. Some Greek thinkers, they express their research, their discovery. Maybe life evolved in the form of spores. Let me tell you this fast. Spores from one planet to other planet. Maybe the spores are known as units of life. These units of life may be transferred from one planet to other planet. May consider this is one planet, one more planet. These kind of spores, these kind of units of life got transferred from one planet to other planet. When these kind of spores, when these kind of units of life settle on the substratum, settle on the Earth's surface, they started germinating. Maybe it happened like this. That is how the life originated. Some of the Greek thinkers, they put forward their concept, their discovery like that. It is known as theory of panspermia. But it was not acceptable. There was no evidence of transformation or transferring of spores from one planet to other planet. So this theory was neglected. Next theory is known as theory of spontaneous generation. The spontaneous generation speaks about the life may be originated from the dead and decaying matter known as like mud, maybe the mud, decaying of mud or decaying of straw. It gave rise to the new life. Maybe the life evolved in this manner. So this theory is known as spontaneous generation or abiogenesis. Because why it is known as abiogenesis? Because the life have evolved from the non-living things, dead and decaying matter. That's why it is known as spontaneous generation. And this theory, it got no evidence to proof itself. That's why this also got neglected. And then Louis Pasteur, he conducted some experiment to prove his theory about how the life evolved. He took the flask, he placed the killed yeast in his flask and let the flask, like in the first experiment, he completely closed the flask. Okay, so it means what? There was no exchange of air. It means what? The microorganism, whatever there in the atmosphere, it can't reach that meat and all or the killed yeast. In his experiment, what he has told, according to the NCERT, he has taken the killed yeast. So many scientists, they have taken the meat also, but according to the NCERT, we have to go. So you have to take the word killed yeast. In the first experiment, nothing was happened. Like there was no formation, none of the formation of life or any of the species evolved in his experiment, in his first experiment. And in one more experiment, what he did, he let the flask open. After few days, the egg, larva, flies, synthesizes from that killed yeast. What does it mean? It tells about the life originated from the living organism. But he failed to express how the living one species maybe. So the species, these living organisms have evolved from this thing. Right, and these species, it gradually changes itself, it gradually evolved from one type to other type. Maybe it came to an existence, like maybe in the form of caterpillar or in the form of what is that, insects, or number of species may be evolved from this species. But there was again no evidence how these species evolved. He cannot express or he cannot give much explanation to his theory. So that's why this experiment also, we are not following this experiment. Finally, two scientists from Russia and from England. From Russia, one scientist came who started a pairing of Russia and Halliday from England. Oparin is the scientist name, Halliday is the scientist name, Russia is the place from where he belongs to, and England, as you know, Russia and England is the place name. Oparin and Halliday, you have to remember these two scientists' name. What is their contribution? They put forward their things or their contributions in the form of theory known as theory of chemical evolution. Chemical evolution. In his theory, in the chemical evolution, what has happened? What happened? How they explain the origin of life according to the chemical evolution. So the chemical evolution for the life, what it means, what will be there in the cell? Consider this is the cell, the nucleus, and number of organs and cytoplasm and vacuoles will be present. If we consider, if we take one example of plant cell, and what about the animal cell? The same thing, but some changes will be present. Okay, so the constituent of this cell or the constituent of the DNA or any of the material is amino acid or the explanation, Oparin and Haldane, they become success to express their discovery based on like how the life evolved. What they told, the life has originated from the inorganic constituents like maybe it is a methane or ammonia or the like sugars or all these inorganic constituents. They unite one another. They form, they aggregate with one another, and finally one life arises, one life synthesized, one life produced. So this is how the life evolved or the life formed. So that was their contribution, that was their theory. After that, based on their concepts, based on their theory, Miller, he conducted one experiment based on this theory, that is theory of chemical evolution. He make a setup of glass, conducted one experiment. What experiment it was? It was on the basis of chemical evolution. What was there in the experiment? That we understand in the next session. So if you have any doubts, if you have any doubts about the theory of panspermia or theory of spontaneous generation or Louis Pasteur theory or any of today's concept, please ask me.